Emily, a bright, adventurous soul, carried a shadow. Her parents, renowned historians, vanished on an expedition when she was just a child. Raised by her aunt, Emily grew up fascinated by their work, inheriting their thirst for the unknown. One afternoon, a yellowed letter arrived, the return address bearing the name Blackwood Manor. It was her grandmother's house, a place shrouded in whispers and long-forgotten tales. The letter spoke of a family's secret, a truth hidden within the mansion's walls waiting to be discovered. Intrigued and a touch apprehensive, Emily packed her bags, ready to face the mysteries of Blackwood Manor. The old Ford rumbled down the overgrown driveway, each turn of the wheel carrying Emily closer to her past. The mansion loomed, a Gothic silhouette against the dying light. Its stone facade was weathered and worn, ivy clinging to its walls like grasping hands. As Emily stepped out, a shiver ran down her spine. The air hung heavy with silence, broken only by the rustle of leaves and the distant caw of a crow. This place held secrets, she could feel it. With a deep breath, she reached for the iron knocker, its cold metal sending a tremor through her hand. The heavy oak door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit foyer. Dust motes danced in the thin rays of sunlight that pierced the gloom. The air was stale, thick with the scent of decay and forgotten memories. Emily stepped inside, each footfall echoing in the oppressive silence. Portraits of stern-faced strangers lined the walls, their eyes seeming to follow her every move. A grandfather clock stood sentinel at the foot of the grand staircase, its hands frozen in time. Cobwebs draped the ornate furniture like ghostly shrouds. The mansion felt like a tomb, a mausoleum of secrets and sorrow. Emily wandered through the shadowy halls, each room a testament to a forgotten era. The silence of Blackwood Manor was unsettling. It wasn't an empty silence. It was filled with whispers and rustling sounds just beyond her perception. As Emily explored, she couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched, of unseen eyes following her every move. Shadows seemed to dance at the edge of her vision, and the temperature dropped noticeably as she passed certain rooms. One evening, while poring over her grandmother's old journals, Emily heard it. A soft, mournful sigh that seemed to emanate from the walls themselves. Her blood ran cold. The journals spoke of strange occurrences, unexplained noises, and objects moving on their own. Her grandmother believed the house to be haunted, a sentiment Emily was beginning to share. Days turned into weeks, and Emily's fascination with Blackwood Manor deepened. She spent her days exploring the dusty rooms, searching for clues to her family's past and the secrets hidden within the mansion's walls. One afternoon, while exploring the attic, she stumbled upon a locked door concealed behind a heavy tapestry. It was a small, unassuming door, but something about it drew her in. Curiosity gnawed at her. Why would there be a locked room in the attic, hidden from view? The lock was old but sturdy. Emily spent hours searching for the key, her fingers tracing the dusty shelves and cobwebbed corners. Just as she was about to give up hope, she felt something cold and metallic beneath her fingertips. It was a small, tarnished key hidden beneath a loose floorboard. Section 5. The Diary. The key turned with a heavy thud, and the door creaked open, revealing a small, dusty room. The air was thick with the scent of decay and something faintly sweet, like incense. A single window cast a sliver of pale light into the room, illuminating a small wooden desk and a dusty armchair. On the desk lay a leather-bound diary, its pages yellowed with age. Emily's heart pounded as she reached for the diary. The leather was cold and slightly damp beneath her fingers. The first entry was dated over a century ago, written in elegant flowing script. It was her great-great-grandmother's diary, filled with her innermost thoughts, fears, and a chilling secret that had haunted their family for generations. The diary spoke of a ritual, a dark pact made with an entity of immense power. It spoke of a bloodline cursed, destined to relive a horrifying fate. Section 6. A Name in the Dark. As Emily delved deeper into the diary, a sense of dread washed over her. The entries grew increasingly frantic, filled with paranoia and terror. Her great-great-grandmother wrote of being haunted by visions, of hearing voices whispering her name. She believed she was going mad. But the most disturbing entry was the last, scrawled in shaky handwriting, the ink blotched as if by tears. It spoke of a mirror, a portal to the other side, and a name. Emily's name. The diary claimed that the mirror could reveal the truth, but it came with a price. It could also unleash the entity her ancestor had made a pact with, condemning her lineage to an eternity of suffering. Emily's head spun. Could the diary be trusted? Was her family truly cursed? And what about the mirror? Did it hold the key to her family's past, or was it a gateway to something far more sinister? Driven by a thirst for the truth, Emily searched for the mirror. The diary provided cryptic clues, leading her on a chase through hidden passages and forgotten wings of the manor. Finally, in a secluded tower room, she found it. The mirror was ancient, its silver surface tarnished with age, reflecting only a distorted image of the room. As Emily gazed into its depths, she felt a chill run down her spine, a sense of unease settling over her. The air grew heavy, the silence pressing in on her like a physical weight. She could hear her heart pounding in her chest, a frantic rhythm against the oppressive silence. Taking a deep breath, Emily spoke the words scrawled in her great-great-grandmother's diary, her voice trembling in the stillness. "Show me the truth," she whispered. "Show me who I am." A low hum resonated through the room, and the mirror's surface rippled like water disturbed by a stone. The reflection began to shift, the distorted image resolving itself into a scene from the past. Emily watched in horror as her great-great-grandmother stood before the mirror, her face pale and drawn. Candles flickered around her, casting grotesque shadows on the walls, and strange symbols were etched into the floor. She was chanting, her voice low and guttural, her words evoking a power that sent shivers down Emily's spine. Then the entity appeared in the reflection, a grotesque figure wreathed in shadows. But as it moved closer, Emily gasped. It was then that she noticed the entity's eyes. They were her eyes. The reflection shifted again, focusing on her great-great-grandmother's terrified face as she made a desperate plea. The plea wasn't for her, but for the entity. It was a plea to protect her daughter, to spare her from the curse, to break the cycle of horror that had plagued their family for generations. The entity agreed, but with a condition. It would take something in return. A life for a life. The reflection showed her great-great-grandmother cradling a newborn baby, tears streaming down her face. Emily's heart pounded in her chest. The entity leaned down, its face obscured by shadows, and whispered something into the baby's ear. The reflection then dissolved, the mirror returning to its tarnished state. Emily stood there for a long moment, her breath catching in her throat. She finally understood. She wasn't just a descendant of the woman who made the pact, she was the price. The entity hadn't taken her life, it had given her one. Emily left Blackwood Manor the next morning, the weight of the truth heavy on her shoulders. She was both a prisoner of her lineage and a product of it. The entity's whispers echoed in her mind, a constant reminder of the pact made generations ago. But she also felt a strange sense of purpose. She didn't know what the entity had whispered to her all those years ago, but she was determined to find out. Blackwood Manor may have held the answers to her past, but it was out in the world, in the echoes of history and the forgotten corners of knowledge, that she would find her future. As she drove away, Emily glanced back at the imposing mansion, its silhouette stark against the dawning sky. Blackwood Manor had been both a prison and a sanctuary, a place of shadows and revelation. She didn't know what the future held, but she knew one thing for sure. She wasn't just Emily, the curious history student. She was the keeper of her family's legacy, the inheritor of a destiny intertwined with an ancient entity. And she was ready to face it.